Well, let's go to our female panel. Two very smart women, Fierravanti-Wells. Look, I've got to say, I read a booklet that she published earlier this year of speeches she's made over a period of months covering 10 important categories. One chapter was on the communist regime in China, another on regional security, another on issues of national importance, another freedom of speech and religion, another on Cardinal George Pell. It's phenomenal stuff, this. Another caring for older Australians, another climate change and bushfires, another chapter on cultural diversity, and then on patron seats. They're the seats that, as a senator, she seeks to support. And then the final thing on parliamentary and committee work. I say that because we are still in all of this gender stuff. But if you say that to the buffer boys in the Liberal Party, they are waiting to remove this lady. When the factions in these political parties, let me tell you, take charge, neither gender nor merit matter. That is a battle for another day. And those people who are trying to get rid of Senator Fierravanti-Wells have got a fight on their hands. Then, of course, our regular Tanya Plibersek. Welcome to you both. Look, coronavirus, I don't want to dwell on this, but to you, Tanya, these closures have wreaked havoc on our communities and mental health. The World Health Organisation, as you know, say, pardon me, they should be a strategy of last resort. My viewers are furious, arguing that while private businesses die, public servants sleep. Tanya, who's been fired for the failure to properly contact trace the virus and prevent border closures?
Well, this most recent outbreak is devastating, Alan. As you're saying, it's so very disappointing that we haven't got more of our population vaccinated now, because that really is the only way that we're going to keep our businesses open. It is devastating for the people of Brisbane. I'm pleased that they're going to be opening up now, but it's very hard.
The damage is already done, isn't it?
On Brisbane, it's very hard on Byron Bay.
Definitely.
I mean, they were expecting this terrific music festival, Blues Fest. I went a few years ago. It's a great event. It brings a lot of tourist dollars into a local community that needs that support. And sadly, I mean, the promoters must be just tearing their hair out at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, Conchetta, in all of this, no one's accountable. I mean, they blame everyone else. The Queensland Health Minister says vaccination rates are poor because Canberra hasn't given them enough vaccine. That's a lie. They've only used half of what they've been given. Then she said this is a vet death. They had to save some for the second jab. That is untruthful. And she still has a job. So, Conchetta, no one's accountable.
Look, Alan, in the end, Australians just want Australians vaccinated. They want the vaccine rolled out. And so from a Commonwealth perspective and a state perspective, we don't want to see a spate. The Australian public doesn't want to see the Commonwealth and the states arguing. They just want to see the Commonwealth effectively rolling out the vaccine as we have indicated that we were going to.
Yeah, but may I interrupt you here, Conchetta? You're in government. Now, this is one of the worst vaccination rollouts in the world. I mean, it's worse than Bolivia. It's worse than Azerbaijan. It's 10 times worse than England. It's 14 times worse than the United States. What the hell is going on? What we were promised hasn't happened. 2% of Australia vaccinated.
Alan, you're absolutely correct. And whilst I appreciate that there can be difficulties, and this is a very large logistical exercise, I go back to the point. We undertook to effectively deliver to the states, and the states undertook to roll out the vaccine that they received. So I think it's really important. We've got CSL now having certified the first batch. Let's see this rollout. Let's see the rollout hit the streets and see Australians vaccinated as they should be.
Tanya, let me come to you. The best result is WA with 62% rollout. Most of these states have only used 50 and a bit % of the vaccines. Isn't someone holding these people to account?
Alan, it is shocking, but it's every state and territory saying the Commonwealth Government have been very hard to work with. Scott Morrison said 4 million people would be vaccinated by yesterday. We're at about 600,000. We haven't hit the mark by a little bit. We haven't missed it by a little. We've missed it by a huge amount.
But nonetheless, all the states, Tanya, have the vaccines. They've got the vaccines.
Yeah,
and
but
why
Alan,
aren't they?
they've got to have regular supply. You have you tried actually making an appointment? Like you ring this website number, you get on the website with the phone numbers, and you ring the doctor's surgery, and they say, "Sorry, we've got 50 doses, and we've got hundreds of people in that category." The nursing homes, the poor people in the nursing homes are told, "Be ready on Wednesday morning." Wednesday morning comes and goes. They're sitting there with their sleeves rolled up. No vaccine turns up. And this is a debacle, Alan. We not only were supposed to have 4 million people vaccinated by yesterday, we were told that we were at the head of the queue, the front of the queue. You've pointed out that actually we're doing much worse than many countries that have much worse health systems than we do. We were told that we'd be right with these two main providers, the Pfizer and the AstraZeneca. Why haven't we got deals with other providers? Why haven't we got other
Conchetta,
irons
how
in
do
the
you answer
fire?
those questions?
From beginning to end, this has been a mess.
Well, you can't argue against that. I mean, I talked about this last night. It was embarrassing. What the hell is being discussed within the government to repair what has been a conspicuous failure on the promise that was made to Australians?
Well, Alan, the reality is that we haven't rolled out the vaccine as we have indicated that we would. There have been some logistical issues. Now, I think from a Commonwealth perspective, the important thing is the Australian public expect the vaccine to be rolled out, and I think that it's incumbent on all governments to get on with their respective responsibilities. We have the benefit here in Australia because CSL are producing 50 million doses. And therefore, we have now created this expectation that Australians will be vaccinated and vaccinated quickly. And I think it's incumbent on the Commonwealth now for us to get on with it.
Well, someone doesn't know what's going on because doctors are writing to me and saying it's impossible. Look, let me just get on to something else. Tanya, I've had a lot of emails re your response last week about men's behaviour and the speech you made in the Parliament condemning men, and rightly so, on the instances you cited, Janine Balding and Anita Cobby. But people are angry that you gave the impression that this is all men when the behaviour is associated with a very small minority, and they're asking, what are your solutions? Do you concede that we're talking about 1% of men, and what is the answer, rather than identify the problem? Well,
Alan, I grew up with a beautiful, gentle, gorgeous father that I adored. I'm married to a beautiful man that you know very well.
My question.
I've got two lovely sons, two lovely brothers. This is not about men versus women. This is about people who don't want rapists and wife beaters.
Yeah, no, but hang on, Tanya. 1% of men. 1% of men. Why do we demonise all men?
Alan, I'm not sure that you can. No, we don't. Who does? I have never done that, Alan.
No, but I'm just saying this is the image that's out there. That you're at risk at university of being raped. You're at risk of university of being raped because all men are rapists. Someone's got to dismantle this. And what are the answers to this?
Well,
I mean, the records
Alan,
state...
I don't think any...
The records state that these people come from people with criminal records. And criminal records derive from a lack of people in poverty and so on. How do you repair the problem?
OK, Alan, first of all, that's not right. Sadly, people who sexually assault women or engage in domestic violence come from all walks of life and all backgrounds. And
1%.
When you talk to the police about 1%. The amount of time and energy they have put into sexual assault and domestic violence, they will be the first to say, we don't want these people on the streets.
Yeah,
we don't want wife beaters and rapists.
Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees that we should oppose that violence. But I'm just saying we're demonising men. Conchetta, I mean...
No, we're not. No, we're not, Alan.
Well, that's the perception that is out there.
I'm the last person to say that. Well, I don't know why people would have that idea, Alan, because I've never said anything like that.
I'm just saying this is the perception that's out there. I mean, Conchetta, are we proposing the dismantling of the presumption of innocence?
Well, can I just say group punishment for the responsibilities of individuals will never work in any society. We have a well-established legal system where the presumption of innocence is the basic tenet of our legal system. And we must respect that presumption of innocence, irrespective of what the crime is. We need to respect that because otherwise we are just, our society will flounder if we do not do not respect those very important tenets
Good on you.
of
Well,
our
look,
legal system.
OK, look, we've got a lot to discuss. It's good to talk to you both always. We do appreciate the contributions you make. Finally, have a wonderful Easter, a blessed Easter, and love and best
Thank
wishes to both of you and to your
viewers
family.
as well.
Thank you.
And
Thank
to
you
you,
so
Connie,
much.
as
Happy
well.
and holy Easter to everyone.
That's lovely wishes. Thank you. That's Connie and Tanya will be back next week. We'll take a break.